Do you know what Hannah from Philippines, Gabrielle from Venezuela, and Edmund from Ghana have in common? It's that they studied in France for free. They got a scholarship that had them 100% covered in their tuition fees. In this video, I will share with you how you can be one of them and study in France for free. I will explain the different types of scholarships available, the eligibility for each of them, and how to apply for them. Then we will go through some additional tips and resources to help your application stand out from the rest. This is just a quick disclaimer to say that this list of scholarships that I would be explaining is not an exhaustive list. There are of course many more scholarships available for students coming to France, but I wouldn't have the time to explain all of the scholarships available in this video. So you should also check with your specific embassy or your specific campus France in your country. There are many scholarships available specifically to the country of your origin. So for example, there are some scholarships only available to Indian students coming to France or Indonesian students coming to France. So you should definitely check them out as well. The first thing to know is that there are different types of scholarships available in France. The first is government-funded scholarships. Then we have institutional scholarships offered by French universities and business schools. And then we have private scholarships offered by organizations, foundations, and companies. So let's talk about government-funded scholarships first. The French Foreign Ministry awards many different kinds of scholarships to international students each year. The first one is the Eiffel Excellence Scholarship. It provides funding for master's level courses, doctorate levels, PhD, and they also have some priority areas of study such as science, economics and management, and law and political science. So if you're studying in one of these programs, there's a higher chance that you would get the scholarship. This scholarship is also provided to encourage students coming from emerging countries to apply for studies in France. In this scholarship, the French ministry is actually looking for the best and the topmost students in these areas, and scholarship requests are submitted directly by the French institutions. Now let's talk about some of the benefits of Eiffel Excellence Scholarship. At the master's level, you would have your living expenses covered, 1,031 monthly allowance, 150 monthly stipend, 1 round trip to international flight ticket. The benefits are the same at a doctorate level, it's just that the compensation is a bit higher. Now to apply to Eiffel Excellence Scholarship, you have to firstly contact Campus France in your country. They can provide you with a lot more information on how to apply, and they can also put you in touch with some people. They can actually guide you through this process. Then once you apply, it's the institution that can accept or reject your application. So if they accept your application, they will then submit it directly online to the French ministry, and if they reject your application, you would know. The second scholarship in this category is the Excellence Major Scholarship. This is awarded to the students with the best academic background in EU. So foreign students cannot apply to this scholarship. Unfortunately, this is only applicable to European Union students, and you can still apply to this scholarship until March 30th. To be eligible for this scholarship, as I mentioned, you cannot be French, nor can you be a foreign student. You have to be a student of the European Union. Secondly, you have to be between 18 and 25 years old. These are all of the courses that I accepted for this scholarship. Now, the benefits of this scholarship are as follows. You get a payment of a half-yearly allowance of 6,850. You get a payment of an installation allowance of 1,700. You are exempt from registration fees. You have priority assistance in finding accommodation in Cruz University. You have enrollment in an insurance plan, enrollment in supplemental health insurance, and you're also exempt from the civic. Now, to apply to the Excellence Major Scholarship, you complete your file and have all of your documents ready. You send your application within the deadline, and then they would then get back to you with a selection process. The next scholarship that we have is Make Our Planet Great Again Scholarship. Now, this is a very specific scholarship which is awarded to only researchers, teachers, students, entrepreneurs, and NGOs who would like to create projects to tackle the climate change. The eligibility for this scholarship are foreign researchers who have a doctorate degree of less than 5 years. All nationalities can apply for this program except for French nationals. Now, the benefits of this scholarship are as follows. You get a monthly allowance of 2,500 euros. You get a moving allowance of 500 euros. Your health insurance plan is covered, and you also get a complimentary health insurance. And in order to apply to this program, you first see your selection criteria, where you apply in the first stage, and scientific experts in each relevant field will evaluate these applications. And in the second phase, an international committee will select the final fellows for this scholarship. The next scholarship in this criteria is the Erasmus Mundus Joint. Now, what is the eligibility for the scholarship? You can search the course catalog and see if any of the courses interest you, or if you're planning to do any of these courses for your masters. I've put a link of all of the resources in the description box below so you can check them out. So once you actually see these 218 programs, and if you find some of the programs that interest you, you can then apply to them between the months of October and January. Now let's see some of the benefits that you can gain from this scholarship. They can offer you a full scholarship, but only to the best ranked students, and scholarship cover your travel expenses, your visa, and a living allowance. Students are selected by the Erasmus Mundus Joint program directly, and the selection criteria can vary depending on the program that you apply to. Maybe some of the programs are a bit more competitive to enter, that's why it's more tough to get the scholarship of these programs. Now let's discuss the second type of scholarship available, which is institutional scholarships offered by French institutions and business schools. Almost all business schools and French public universities offer their own scholarships to students, and these scholarships can depend on various categories. So one would always be academic excellence, and the second type of scholarship would be kind of an aid for students coming from lower income background. Your first step would be to see in which criteria you fit in. Each school will also have a different criteria selection process and deadline for these scholarship applications. So it can really vary from one school to the other. Now let's see an example. One of the scholarships offered by a French institution. This is the École Nationale Supérieure. There are 10 slots for science and 10 slots for arts and humanities in this specific institution. But again, it's not the same for all business schools or all institutions. It can really depend on the school itself. Now, to apply to the scholarship, you have to first fill and validate the initial application form, which is here, and within 2 days you will then receive an email to reactivate an account, and that's where you upload your application and your required documents. Once your file is complete, it is submitted to the jury. If the jury accepts your application, you're then invited for the oral and written exam, and once you pass these exams, you would then be given your answer of whether you're getting the scholarship or not. Now, for private business schools, it's more or less the same criteria. It's usually the academic background, your personal projects, and a letter of motivation stating why they should award you this scholarship and why do you think you stand out from the rest of the candidates. I also got a scholarship from my business school, so this was a very similar process. Now let's see the third type of scholarship available, which are private scholarships offered by organizations, companies, and foundations. The most famous scholarship under this criteria is the Emilie Boutmy Scholarship, which is available for students applying to Sciences Po. This is available for non-EU students. This scholarship is awarded to students with academic excellence, and they give out around 300 scholarships each year. Let's see the benefits of this scholarship. If you're applying for your bachelor's, you get a tuition fee grant of 14,210 per year for 3 years, or 9,500 per year, 6,500 per year, or 3,900 per year. So depending on your file, they would choose which criteria you would best fit under. Now, if you're applying for your master's, they only cover your first year of master's, which is M1, and you get 13,100 per year. Now, do keep in mind that these numbers do change depending on inflation. Now, in order to apply to the scholarship, when you actually apply to Sciences Po, there should be an option that says that you're applying to Emilie Boutmy Scholarship. So you should mention that you're applying to the scholarship, and then you upload the necessary files that they ask you, and then the jury would select the candidates that could get the scholarship, and you would get an answer. And that's pretty much it. But keep in mind that this is only for students applying to Sciences Po because it is their scholarship. So if you're applying to any other French business school or French university, you cannot get the scholarship. So I would advise you to check out the programs at Sciences Po and see if this is something that interests you. And if it does, then you should check out the scholarship. Now, as I mentioned in the starting, that there are some country-specific scholarships available. So I just wanted to mention one scholarship that's available to Indian students. This is the Charpak Master. It's only for Indian nationals. This is awarded to 1 or 2 years of your master's degree, and it's open to all the fields of study. Let's see the benefits of this scholarship. You get a monthly allowance of 860 euros. You get a student visa fee waiver. You get social security, and you get accommodation assistance in the cruise residency. Now, to be eligible for this scholarship, as I mentioned, you have to be Indian, who is under 30 years old, be a student currently enrolled or have studied at an Indian institution of higher learning, have already applied for admission at a French institution before applying for the scholarship. The course must be in France. If you have 1 semester abroad, you would not get the scholarship because your whole duration must be in France. Knowledge of French is an asset, but it's not mandatory. The scholarship is only for master's degree. So if you're applying for a bachelor's or doctorate degree, you would not get the scholarship. Now let's see the selection process for the scholarship. You would be selected under academic excellence, consistency, quality of application, and the statement of purpose. And if you potentially have a tie-up with your Indian institution and your French institution where you want to go to, this would definitely be an asset when you're applying for the scholarship. Now that we know about these scholarships, let's talk about some of the ways that you can make your application stand out from the rest of the candidates. My first advice would be to apply early. Sometimes the scholarships are granted on a rolling basis. So for example, if you apply in the first month when the application opens, you will be competing against maybe 15 other students who applied in the same month as you did. Usually students wait till the last minute to apply. So normally, the longer you wait, the more people you would be competing against, the harder it would be for you to get the scholarship. So if you apply early, there are way more chances of you getting the scholarship. This goes without saying, but you should read the eligibility and the requirements for each scholarship. For example, if you need a specific document and you forgot to upload it, you've sent the application already, there are chances that they won't even get back to you because they have hundreds of other candidates who have sent their whole file. This would usually happen in government scholarships, but you should still apply only once your entire file is ready, and you should make sure that you have all of the documents that are needed. Now, sometimes schools, they host some webinars where they give out more information about scholarships or their selection criteria. So I would advise you to attend these scholarships and ask questions, and you would definitely gain some insight from them on maybe how they choose the candidate to give out these scholarships to, or how you can stand out from the others. Now, you should definitely do some volunteering or some community work either in your field of study or as a passion. Volunteering really shows your jury about your interests in either the field or your personal projects or your hobby. And this is definitely the case if you don't have the best grades. Now, your statement of purpose for getting the scholarship needs to be perfect. There needs to be no error, especially no spelling mistake or no grammar error. So you should get this checked either through a software online or through your friends or family who are fluent in English, because this is something that you would be graded on as well. And your statement of purpose should really reflect on why you need the scholarship. So you will need to spend a lot of time on crafting the perfect statement of purpose for getting the scholarship. And lastly, research on your own on how many scholarships are available specifically for you. Maybe there's some country-specific scholarship that you can apply to, and you can also apply to scholarships in your business school or your French university, or also some government scholarships. I hope this video was helpful for you. Thank you so much for watching. And as always, all the resources that I mentioned would be in the description box below, so you can check them out. And if you have any questions, you can contact me on my Instagram, or you can leave a comment down below and I'll try my best to help you. I'll see you in the next video. Bye.